Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Roger Paul, and tonight we're going to continue our study on paper 109, Relation of Adjusters to Universe Creatures. I guess that's everybody, all the kind of creatures, right? And we are, excuse me, on section 6, paragraph 4, and that's on page 1200.4 on the original book. So if you're reading from the book, that's where you'll find it, the original book, or paper 109, section 6, paragraph 4. Okay, let's say a little prayer and we'll get started for the night. Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight. Thank you for this opportunity to share this wonderful revelation with other people. You too. We thank you for the ability to do this. We thank you for those that listen and benefit from it. We pray that you open our hearts and minds that we might share it with others. We thank you. We give you the praise in your son, Michael, Jesus of Nazareth. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Now, y'all, we're going to go backwards one paragraph because I started to take off where we left off last time, and it doesn't make any sense unless you get the paragraph before it. So I'll read this paragraph before it, and then we'll start our regular reading. The activities of the adjuster in your local universe are directed by the personalized adjuster of Michael of Nebadon. Right. That very monitor who guided him step by step when he lived in his human life in the flesh of Joshua ben Joseph, faithful to his trust, was this extraordinary adjuster, and wisely did this valiant monitor direct the human nature, ever guiding the mortal mind of the paradise son in the choosing of the path of the Father's perfect will. This adjuster had previously served with Machiventa Melchizedek in the days of Abraham, and had engaged in tremendous exploits both previous to this indwelling and between these bestowal experiences. So reason I wanted to bring this up is it states that the adjuster that Michael had while he was on our planet was the same one that was in Machiventa Melchizedek, right? All right. And then we'll start.
Hey, yeah. Roger.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead.
Okay. So his personalized adjuster is a director?
Yeah, well, yeah. Now Jesus's personalized adjuster is a director on Divinington, training adjusters before they go back out. Okay, because he's had an experience of being an adjuster for two different individuals, both Machiventa and Jesus, right? But
whereas before that,
yeah, he was just an adjuster. Yeah, he was just an adjuster, just like all the rest of them.
But there was no director before.
Right. No, yeah, there's many of them on Divinington.
Oh, okay.
But now we know that his adjuster's assigned not in Divinington anymore, though, because we know he's assigned to the planet, directing all adjusters on this planet, right?
A big benefit for his universe.
That's right. That's right. It is. So we know that's his current job, right? What he'll do in the future, we believe, will be the head of the finaliters, all the finaliters, when we reach the 7th level, right? Okay.
That was my question. I was going to ask, where's Michael's personalized adjuster at? And you said he's on Divinington?
No, he was he went back to Divinington after he finished his bestowal with Michael, and then he was personalized. When he was personalized, he was sent back to Urantia and is currently in charge of all the adjusters in our local universe on Urantia. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Wait. The personalized adjuster came back to our planet?
Yes. After he was personalized, right?
Okay.
So when after Michael, during the end, after he was released from Jesus, right? After he was baptized, okay, he stayed around helping Michael all the way through the end of his life. Okay. And technically at the end of his life, he was released from duty to Michael. Okay. So at that point, he was personalized. Okay. And when he went back to Divinington, was personalized. When he came back to the planet after that, Michael put him in charge of all acting adjusters on the planet. Okay. So as far as we know, unless something's changed, he's still on this planet in charge of all adjusters.
And if we recall, remember when they had that conversation where the adjuster reminded him of time, how time will be, what was it, inaugurated, or they had a conversation
Well,
that the
yeah,
adjuster reminded him?
He just had to warn him about time, because if he wished something to be done, it would be instantaneous.
Correct.
Right, because he's the creator's son. Jane, did you have a question, dear?
I think I might have asked this question before, and obviously it's not clear still. And my question has to do with the adjuster. Will he then ultimately have the personality of Jesus the man, Jesus of Nazareth?
He already does.
And will that be forever?
Well, okay, that's not exactly true, Jane. He's endowed with a brand new personality, okay, in his current form, but that personality has all the memory patterns, the experience, and everything that Jesus did. So he's in essence a duplicate of Jesus incarnate as a personalized adjuster. Does that make sense?
That does make sense, because Michael of Nebadon does not need that personality.
No, he already had a personality.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's particular to Jesus while
Michael
he lived
Jesus,
on earth. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. His personality remains the same. And that's why the adjuster also had to be personalized, because he could not gain personality from a human being as adjusters normally do. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's
so
the way
he got so Michael gave him a personality.
No, the Father gave him a personality.
Okay, the Father gave him a new personality.
Yes.
Other than Michael's, but he's got the experience of Michael.
And all the memories of Michael. He's got the memories, the experiential total of Michael's life on Earth, right? So he has all those memories, all those experiential memories, but he also has all his, how would I say this, physical memories from when he was alive, right? So all the experience he gained is within that adjuster plus. So that makes him almost a duplicate of Jesus of Nazareth, if you think about it that way. He can't be a duplicate of Michael himself, because Michael is a creator son and creator of the local universe, right?
That's right.
But he can be a duplicate of Jesus of Nazareth and all his experience, right? So in essence, when you talk to get an opportunity to talk to the personalized adjuster of Jesus, it's just like you're talking to Jesus of Nazareth all the way through his life until the day he died.
Right?
You've got to realize he must have been something super. For instance, you're not going to have a thought adjuster go down to earth with Melchizedek to see Abraham. That wasn't well qualified. Which he probably had many previous life experiences, so he probably
did.
A very high rank to go with Melchizedek, and then to be chosen to go down with Michael would be to me the supreme honor, and you take the most qualified. So this guy's got some heavy duty
experience, right?
Experience,
because he's got Jesus's experience and Melchizedek's experience, right? Both of them. So makes him pretty special.
Yeah, Jesus was definitely a religious genius. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Would you take the next one, dear?
That's probably why Jesus the child was so good.
No,
Was the
I
thought
disagree
adjuster.
with you, because if Jesus the child was anything other than a child, he wouldn't gain experience of being a human,
Mhm.
right?
But I'm saying
So,
the thought adjuster would be.
well, the thought adjuster, yeah, but remember, Jesus did not get his thought adjuster until he was almost 6 years old.
Okay.
Okay, just
All
like we
right.
do.
I stand corrected this time.
Okay.
This adjuster did indeed triumph in Jesus' human mind, that mind which each of life's recurring situations maintained a consecrated dedication to the Father's will, saying, "Not my will, but yours be done." Such decisive consecration constitutes the true passport from the limitations of human nature to the finality of divine attainment.
Okay, you could almost miss this in this paragraph unless you're paying attention. But there's two things in this paragraph that are super important. Number one is Jesus's dedication to doing the Father's will, not his own will. Okay, not my will, but yours be done. His whole bestowal in the likeness of mortal flesh was to what? Reveal the Father, right? That's the the seventh bestowal charge is to reveal the Father. And that's what he did. But the next part of this sentence, such decisive consecrations constitute the true passport from the limitations of human nature to the finality of divine attainment. And what does that say to us? If we can learn to substitute our will with God's will, with the Father's will, that's the true passport and the total limitation of the human nature to identify itself with divinity. Does that make sense?
Yes. I guess, Roger, what you're saying there lies the liberty, the freedom, the liberty.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because if you choose to substitute your will for God's will, what are you doing? You're tapping into divinity, right? God the Father, divine attainment. And that's the whole goal, is it not? To become divine when we fuse with the
but are
adjuster.
you giving up freedom?
No, you're
You
doing just the
acquire
opposite.
freedom.
Yeah, you do just the opposite, because by giving into God's will, it opens up divinity to flourish in your life far beyond what your human capability could ever experience.
Is it sort of practical to say that it's more like becoming like a Mother Teresa? And if so, isn't it just more than about good works?
No, because Mother Teresa had her own experiences, right? And what she did was the things she chose to do. So we can't really become like Mother Teresa in the sense. What we can do is dedicate our lives to the will of the Father, and through God the Father, the divinity comes out through us, and allows us to do things that we normally can't do, right?
Right,
Did y'all really think I could teach these classes if it was just me?
No. And what you're saying there, each individual is created for a purpose, not a copy of someone else.
Not a copy of someone else. So if you're living your life to be just like such and such or so and so, you're wasting your time. You need to live your life to be you. Right? Liberated. Who you want to be, right? I can't be Gary and Gary can't be me, can he?
Well, that's what Jesus
He's
told
not
us.
that good looking.
I would classify that as saying, like, your personality is different and ununique, but people can pattern their lives off the rich and imitate others, like sports, stars, etc.
And that's a mistake, is it not?
Yes.
I can't be Elvis, I don't look like Elvis. I don't sing like Elvis. I didn't have the experience of Elvis. No matter how much I wanted to be, I couldn't be Elvis, could I?
That almost sounded like an Elvis song.
What I thought.
All right. So the thing I wanted y'all to get from this is the fact that Jesus dedicated his life to doing the Father's will. And by doing that, he shows us the passport. Notice they use the true passport here. By doing that, you have the passport for the highest divine attainment you can have in this life.
When they say divine attainment, what are they talking about? That Father's will has been consecrated, has been achieved?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do is give God the Father's fragment our personality so that he can take our personality and move through us, right? That's the only thing we can give God. Think about it.
Well, the next question is, I mean, we're being ourselves. It's not like the adjuster takes off and says, "See ya," and you're like, "Hey, what about me?" He just took a copy of you, a pattern of a pattern, took off, and you're like, "Okay, so where am I at?" Some people can be kind of confused with that question.
Yeah, and it's innate in us. We always are trying to be something that we're not, instead of just trying to be ourselves, right? And every one of us is important. No one person is more important than another, I don't care who you think these stars and, especially sports stars, that's just ridiculous. These kids that want to grow up and be some basketball star, football star, whatever, when, you're talking about a game, it always comes down to it's a game, right? But if you want to be somebody like a great spiritual leader, or you want to be somebody that does nothing but good for the world, go for it. Try to fashion your life after that person, but don't try to be that person. You're not that person. You never will be. You need to be you, reflective of the things you've learned from that person.
But hey, Roger, the question is, the adjuster doesn't take off with your personality, right? And leave you behind.
No, never. That's why we fuse. You always become one with the adjuster. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, Mr. Kitty, would you read the next paragraph?
Meow, meow.
Yes. This same adjuster now reflects in the inscrutable nature of his mighty personality the pre-baptismal humanity of Joshua ben Joseph, the eternal and living transcript of the eternal and living values, which the greatest of all Urantians created out of the humble circumstances of a commonplace life, as it was lived to the complete exhaustion of the spiritual values attainable in mortal experience. Wow.
You see the complete exhaustion of spiritual values attainable in mortal experience. That's our goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait a minute.
And those values can be defined in categories.
Yeah. I don't think I want to go to that point where they would crucify me. I think that's.
Nobody's asking you to. Yeah, they're not asking you to.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Because I don't stand on, like, I'm nothing compared to God.
Yeah, well, that's not your life, right? Your life is totally different. So your complete exhaustion of the spiritual values attainable in mortal experience are your values and spiritual attainment in your mortal experience, not someone else's, right? And only you can determine what that is. No one else can determine it for you.
Yeah, and
that's what the Father wants.
Right.
And with you, Gary, you adopted children when they were very young. I mean, you had a special gift, you and your wife, which makes you very unique.
Is that another way of saying odd?
Yeah, you could say you're odd. Each one of us is odd, though, if you think about it. No two experiences are alike. And I've done some, as they say, damn odd experiences in my life, Any way you look at it, look at it this way. I was a scuba instructor, I taught karate. So many things, I was a barber, hairstylist, chiropractor, sports medicine doctor, x-ray technician. You know, look at all the different experiences I had. Would you say it's a little odd? You know, when I watch things on TV now, like I've been watching this Bermuda Triangle thing where they're diving. When they go down, I'm there, you know. You know, when they start to go down, I re-experience it. All the things, you know, I cave dive for a couple of years, you know, and taught cave diving and all these other things, you know. And when I see that on TV, and then Diane knows this, when I see that, I look at her and say, I've done that, you know, been there, done that, you know. And this stuff is dangerous. And why in the world I decided to do that at that time? You know, I look back and I go, were you crazy? You know, but each one of us has our own unique experiences. And it's just to the extent and level that we decide what we want to do. Right.
And hey, Roger,
I look at it now, I wouldn't get in the water and go down 350 feet to save your life, you know. You know, might as well blow your brains out. It's about that. You know, the diving limit for human beings is right at 500 feet. And at 500 feet, you can't modify your tanks or anything else to keep it from killing you. You just can't. So why do you do stuff like that? You know, it's, who knows?
Yeah. And hey, Roger, in case anybody's wondering, there are 7 that can be defined as spiritual values. 7.
Yes, we know that. Yeah. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Gary, or we move on?
I just tell you that you do those dumb things when you're young.
Yes, you do. That you hit it on the head there. You know, young and inexperienced. Thought you would live forever, right? Nothing can hurt you. I got news for you. There's
okay,
a lot of
but
things
Roger,
in the world can
I'll
hurt
show
you.
you how different I am from you. I started riding a motorcycle when I was in my 60s.
Well, let me tell you, Gary, I rode a motorcycle till I was about 45, maybe 50. And it took me that long to realize it's a death machine. You know?
Right. Careful.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to be careful. Let's go on to the next one. Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Yes. Everything of permanent value, which is entrusted to an adjuster, is assured eternal survival. In certain instances, the monitor holds these possessions for bestowal on a mortal mind of future indwelling. In others, and upon personalization, these surviving and conserved realities are held in trust for future utilization in the service of the architects of the master universe.
Okay, notice here it says, you know, everything of permanent value, okay, is entrusted to the adjuster. And if you don't survive this, if you don't go on to the mansion world, guess what happens to all those experiences?
They go into the Supreme.
Well, they go into Supreme, or they go on to the next mortal that this adjuster incorporates, right? Or gets assigned to. So those possessions of those experiences become the new person's values and experiences. Okay. In the case of a personalized adjuster, it becomes experience of just the personalized adjuster. And in other cases, it's held in trust by the architects of the master universe for future utilization, because that adjuster may be assigned to somebody in the outer space levels or who knows what. So those values may go on indefinitely.
Wow.
Are you saying that those values
the only one that loses out is the person that does not survive, right? Now, what were you going to say, Mr. Kitty?
Meow. Are you saying that those I keep thinking about Diana's 2 new cats. That's why I named No, are you saying that the values will go to another individual human being on this earth?
Exactly. Or not on this earth, on another planet, probably. But
correct.
Yeah, they will
I can just hear the Hindu saying, well, this would explain reincarnation.
And no, it's got nothing to do with reincarnation
Correct.
at all. All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see here. Gary, you're up.
Number 7, destiny of personalized adjusters. We cannot state whether or not non-adjuster father fragments are personalizable, but we have been informed that personality is the sovereign free will bestowal of the universal father. As far as we know, the adjuster type of father fragment attains personality only by the acquirement of personal attitudes through service ministry to a personal being. These personalized adjusters are at home on Divington, where they instruct and direct their pre-personal associates.
Okay. So they can't tell us whether they know any other father fragments are personalizable. Okay. Because they don't know themselves. Right. So if they don't know, they can't tell us. The other thing is here, they do say here that the personal attributes through service ministry to a personal being. In other words, the adjuster father fragments attain personality only by the acquirement of these things from other beings, right? The personality from other beings, even though it's because of the free will of the father himself that personality is even bestowed. Okay, so you can't have personality without the father bestowing it, and that includes all types of personality. You know, the infinite spirit bestows personality to all the angelic corps, but that personality originates in what? The father, right? The father doesn't bestow it directly, but he does it through the infinite spirit. All right. And so it says here, these personalized adjusters are at home on Divinington. Why do you think they call it Divinington?
It's divine.
It's divine. Divinington. It's a divine place. And so that's where they feel totally at home. That's the bosom of the Father, if you would. Yeah, Gary.
Don't we have a conflict here?
How's that?
And I'm thinking, and correct me here, we are born. God gives us our personality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These thought adjusters, if he's not fresh, brand new, has acquired personality traits, however you want to phrase it, from prior lives that have given up. Okay.
No, they don't, Gary. They
so
don't
this is where I'm
acquire.
wrong.
Yeah, this is where you're wrong. They don't acquire personality from previous existences. Okay. That's an important point. And I want you to make sure you understand this. When they inhabit another human being or another being, a mortal being in another planet, whatever, they acquire the experience, the mindal backlog of everything except the actual personality of that person, because they don't fuse with that personality. They don't carry that forward. You follow me? You know,
they carry the
because
experience, but not the personality.
that's exactly right. You got to hit it on the head, because this is important, because if they did retain that personality, they wouldn't need to go back into another being to gain the personality, would they?
Okay, yes. I was seeing a conflict of,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had a question, Roger.
Yeah.
So section 7, right? We're talking about personalized adjusters. These aren't just regular adjusters. These are adjusters that have been relieved of duty, or for instance, where the human being has chosen not to survive.
Not to survive. That's right.
And then they get personalized. They attend Divinington and whatever else they do, they become personalized. And after they're personalized, they can't pretty much enter the human mind anymore. They're pretty much on their own, correct?
They can't be assigned to any human being again, ever again, because they gain the personality from personalization directly from God the Father. Okay. So these adjusters cannot be reassigned to someone else.
Wait a minute.
follow
Would
me?
you say that again? I missed it.
The personalized
Dave.
adjusters cannot be reassigned to another human being.
So that's only, but how can that, well then, the only time you
Be-
can have a personalized adjuster other than something special is
Yes,
they merge with, when you merge with your adjuster, you become personalized, right?
right,
No,
right.
Okay,
Well,
am
your
I right?
personality merges. Your personality merges with the adjuster. It's your personality. It's not the adjusters. So what they're talking.
There's no tapping out at that point because you
No,
become a part of God, because
that's
God's
right.
part of you.
That's why
Okay.
you become eternal, Gary. When
Okay,
you
that's when you
fuse with that
become
adjuster.
eternal. So how can you
Yeah.
have personalized adjusters?
Well, these are
Roger.
adjusters that served a purpose, and so God the Father felt it within Himself
Okay.
to give them their own personality, so they wouldn't have to be reassigned to another human being.
They're
Okay, and
special.
once they are personalized, they can't ever be assigned to another human being because they already have personality.
Got it.
correct. Like I just got done saying, like Roger, when we say that word personalized adjusters, it's in reference to either the human being has not survived or they're relieved of duty. Those two categories.
Right.
And that's how they become a personalized adjuster. Okay. Because
Yeah.
there's that list, virgin adjusters, advanced
Yeah.
adjusters, personalized adjusters. Right. Okay. Thank
Right.
you.
But the bottom line is these are adjusters that are not attached, but has performed in such a manner as to be personalized.
Yes, that's right. And they become a total separate class of entity outside mortals. We're all mortals, right? We will go on the ascension plan. The personalized adjusters will never go on the ascension plan.
They don't need to.
They don't need to.
Roger,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I have this note here. It could be from a previous lesson, maybe we did or I listened to.
Okay.
It says that they are omnipersonal and co-infinite.
That's true. They are. Now, think of it this way. An adjuster coming from God the Father is what? Part of the omniscience of God is within them. Okay. So when we fuse with the adjuster, the reason we gain divinity is because the omniscience of God, in other words, that fragment of God still sees time as non-existent. Okay. It goes on forever and ever and ever. It doesn't see an end to anything. It also has has a beginning that goes back beyond human consciousness. Okay, so that little fragment, it's not omnipresent like God is, but it does have God's omniscience. Okay, so it goes on forever, goes back forever. So as we grow older, after we fuse with the adjuster, what do we start to realize?
We're one with God.
That we're one with God. So that gives us a foresight into the future, like God has. It also gives us a backsight into the past that is not really our experience, does it? Okay. So as our forward looking expands, the backward looking expands at the same level. And this is hard to understand, but when you fuse with your adjuster, you'll start to have memories of everything that happened that adjuster before you came into existence. That includes all of its previous every being that it's ever been in, its origin and everything else. Okay. So once that fusion happens, we become part of what? Divinity. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when our divine self really takes off, and that's why we're what? Immortal. Okay, because God is immortal. That's what makes us real sons and daughters of God too. Right? Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So isn't it true at death our adjusters takes off for Divinington, while the seraphim gathers our spirit soul, and we go to the first mansion world, and then we have to be reunited.
Right.
Probably what, on the fifth mansion world, where we're reunited with the adjuster to merge.
No, you're reunited with the adjuster on the very first mansion world when you wake up. When you wake up on the first mansion world, for your memories of your personality and everything else, everything has to be put back together. Your soul, your personality, your mindal patterns, and all this. That's why they have all these safeguards, that your experience, everything you experience in life, is not only the possession of the thought adjusters, possession of the guardian seraphim, and at least one archangel. So your experience is in triplicate. So if anything goes wrong, like let's say your guardian angel decides to default like they did during the Lucifer rebellion, then your archangel guarantees your experience. When you wake up on the mansion world, he has a copy of that. It's inserted right back into you. Okay. It's a safeguard that you will wake up being whom? Who you are.
Who you are.
Yeah. Okay.
That's correct.
Everything is triplicate in the universe.
The seraphic destiny guardians, thought adjuster, the archangels of resurrection, the life carriers will all be there. Mm-hmm.
They'll all be there when you wake up.
Yep.
And the interesting part is this: when you wake up on the mansion world, you won't ever be separated from your thought adjuster again. Even if it takes you a million years to get to the fifth mansion world and you fuse with your adjuster, that thought adjuster will stay with you all the way through that point when he fuses with you. And once he fuses with you, you never separate again.
What do you think that's going to be like? I mean, is it going to be like hearing a kit voice, or just something that you merged into?
No, it's what God puts together. No man can separate, right? It's the perfect marriage. All right. Okay. It's not a human marriage where you can get a divorce.
It's not like a schizophrenia effect where you're hearing voice.
No.
You're perfected, and you're like merged into like this amazing personality.
Okay, Gary, would you take the next one? We're going to get through this paper tonight, and we're not quitting. We'll be here at 2:00 in the morning. You're muted, Gary.
It's Mr.
Yes. Perseverance, Roger. Perseverance and endurance.
That's right.
Okay. Personalized thought adjusters are the untrammeled, unassigned, and sovereign stabilizers and compensators of the far-flung universe of universes. They combine the creator and the creature experience, existential.
Yeah, existential
and experimental.
Experiential. Experiential. It's different than experimental.
Okay.
Experiential, yeah.
They are conjoined time and eternity beings. They associate the pre-personal and the personal in universe administration. So
okay,
they combine it all.
They combine it all right? All the personal experience of human beings plus the divinity of God, right? So the personalized thought adjusters are kind of like the stabilizers of everything, because they're God incarnate with us all the time, right? They have experience as people. They have experience as God the Father. Pretty special. Okay. Jane, would you take the next one?
Personalized adjusters are the all-wise and powerful executives of the architects of the master universe. They are the personal agents of the full ministry of the Universal Father, personal, pre-personal, and super-personal. They are the personal ministers of the extraordinary, the unusual, and the unexpected throughout all the realms of the transcendental absolute spheres, of the domain of God, the ultimate, even to the levels of God, the absolute.
Okay, so y'all don't miss this. The personalized adjuster are the ones that administer the architects of the master universe. And what do the architects of the master universe do? They create all the universes, right? They start up everything out in the outer space levels, even in our local universe, the part that's not been finished yet. Guess who's taking care of that? The architects of the master universe. And they're directed by whom? The personalized adjusters. They're the executives of this. Okay. That's why they're so important. All right. They are the personal agents of the ministry of the Universal Father. Not only the personal part, but the pre-personal part before adjusters, before personality, and super personal, those things that are above normal personality. And when you get into that, you're talking about the transcendental absonite spheres. Okay, they're above just regular personality. All right, and that becomes the main of the future, God the ultimate and God the absolute, the outer space levels, right? So you see the importance of these thought adjusters.
It just dawned on me, and I'm obviously a little bit slow, so I'll talk slow. Okay. Okay. But it's just dawned on me how fabulous it is. We have God within us, and these personalized thought adjusters are doing a fantastic job because they are God's extension.
Yes.
And we are an extension. We're basically the same.
Yes.
In many ways. And an example, we have a fragment of him in us, and they are a fragment of him. Okay.
Yeah. He is in us and we're in him.
We've been gifted.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in us and we are in him. So what a tragedy it is when someone chooses not to survive, isn't it? Think of it that way. What a tragedy, because God the Father has done everything possible to bring you into the fold of eternity, right? And when you say, no, 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 and spit in his face, you don't deserve to survive, you know? That's part of what, when they talk about there aren't any tears in heaven, those who choose not to survive within a short period of time, any memory of them is gone, because who wants to remember something that is not godly? Can't exist.
Roger.
Yeah.
I am just thinking here now. Our thought adjuster is primordial, is pre-personal.
Right.
But these are personalized by God the Father.
Right. Yes.
There's a big difference between these adjusters and what we have within us.
That is true, Jane, because these adjusters we have within us haven't got personality yet, have they?
No.
But the personalized adjusters do.
Are endowed to them.
Yes.
By the first source and center.
Right. And so they assume the personality of whom? God the Father. Right.
God the Father. And,
yes.
and because they are with the architects of the master universe, and they have then I can't speak, but I think I know what's going on.
It's the fruition of the Father's will, if you think about it, right? In other words, these are the direct communication mechanisms of God the Father and his will out to the architects of the master universe and how he wants something done.
Correct. Right? Yeah.
Direct link, if you would.
Intelligence.
Intelligence beyond imagination. Hard to believe there's so many little things in each one of these little paragraphs, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay, let's see. Diane, you're back up, dear.
They are the exclusive beings of the universes who embrace within their being all the known relationships of personality. They are omnipersonal. They are before personality. They are personality, and they are after personality. They minister the personality of the universal Father as in the eternal past, the eternal present, and the eternal future.
Wow.
You see where you gain that past, present, and future again here? You see how that works in here? That's why they call them omnipersonal. They're before God ever gave personality to the eternal Son.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So just the things in this book is just unbelievable sometimes, you know. Okay. Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Yes. Existential personality on the order of the infinite and absolute, the Father bestowed upon the eternal Son. But he chose to reserve for his own ministry the experiential personality of the type of the personalized adjuster bestowed upon the existential pre-personal adjuster. And they are thus both destined to the future eternal superpersonality of the transcendental ministry of the absonite realms of the ultimate, the supreme ultimate, and even to the levels of the ultimate absolute.
So these personalities that are bestowed upon these personalized adjusters are already pre-built for all eternity into the future, right? And every modification is going to take to go from finite to the transcendental absonite to the supreme ultimate and eventually to the ultimate absolute. It's already pre-programmed within them, right? So they're ready for anything. All right. Okay, Jane, would you take the next one, please?
Seldom are the personalized adjusters seen at large in the universes. Occasionally, they consult with the Ancients of Days and sometimes the personalized adjusters of the sevenfold Creator Sons. Come to the headquarter worlds of the constellations to confer with the Verondadex rulers.
Now, if you think about this, this makes perfect sense because the personalized adjuster of Jesus, has got the experience of Jesus. And so don't you think that he would be used to confer with the constellation fathers and the Ancients of Days and things like that when Jesus needs him to, or when Michael needs them to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because they're the only beings that has that experience to do that. Okay. Gary, you get a nice long one here.
Okay. When the planetary Verondadex observer of Urantia, the Most High custodian, who no longer since assumed an emergency regency of your world, asserted his authority in the presence of the resident governor general, he began his emergency administration of Urantia with a full staff of his own choosing. He immediately assigned to all his associates and assistants their planetary duties, but he did not choose the three personalized adjusters who appeared in his presence the instant he assumed the regency. He did not even know they would thus appear, for they do not so manifest their divine presence at the time of a previous regency. And the Most High Regent did not assign service or designate duties for these volunteer personalized adjusters. Nevertheless, these three omnipersonal beings were among the most active of the numerous orders of celestial beings then serving on Urantia.
So the Most High, the Verondadex Son, the Most High that took over the planet during the emergency of the rebellion, did not know that three personalized adjusters were going to be assigned to this planet by God the Father. Okay. they just appeared. So he didn't feel like he was in a position to assign them to any duties, because it would be like trying to tell God what to do, right?
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
you know, I mean, I would have done the same thing. So he just didn't assign them, and they're free to do whatever they feel was necessary for the planet, and that's exactly what they did, right?
Of course, there's
no record of that, but there were 3 personalized adjusters assigned to the planet during the rebellion, you know, to help with the administration. Just the fact that they were here is kind of interesting, right? All right.
10978.
Yeah. Okay. Diane, I think you get the last one there.
Personalized adjusters perform a wide range of services for numerous orders of universe personalities, but we are not permitted to discuss these ministries with adjuster indwelt evolutionary creatures. These extraordinary human divinities are among the most remarkable personalities of the entire grand universe, and no one dares to predict what their future missions may be. Presented by a solitary messenger of Ravantan. Wow.
Okay, so these personalized adjusters do a wide range of things, and they don't tell us much about it because we are what? We are indwelt by an adjuster ourselves. Okay, so that would kind of be trampling on our adjusters and what their mission is, right? So they don't even predict what their future mission or what their entire mission is for the grand universe whatsoever, right? Out of respect for them. Okay, and that wraps up paper 109.
Right? You did it.
Yeah, made it even before we're not going to have to stay till 2 o'clock in the morning, are we? So all right, the plan is this, y'all. We have one more. I'm going to finish up the introduction to the Urantia book Sunday, and then I'm going to be taking a sabbatical after that till January 2nd. If y'all want to write that down, for health reasons. 2nd. Yeah. So that's when we'll resume our meetings 2nd, and then on the 4th we'll have our 2nd, go back to our old routine again. Let me close this down, and y'all don't go anywhere. I want to kind of explain where we are, where we're going, and everything. So let's let everybody at home log out here first. Let me stop the share, stop the Facebook.
Where's Mr. Kitty?
Yeah, we must have lost him.